Welcome, everybody. This is Abacus Fish, and we are playing Dungeons and Dragons utilizing the old school essential system via Roll20. I'm joined by four players today. We have Noah,
Hello.
we have Joe,
Howdy, howdy.
we have Seth,
Hello.
and we have Matt.
Hi.
All right. So, what we're doing this hex scroll for the viewers at home, just so you're aware, that it being a hex scroll means that I have no control over what the players do. All I do is just kind of offer them some basic information, but there are no main quests. There is no real direction. There are points of interest and plot hooks, but outside of that, it really is up to the players how they respond. And with that said, everybody's over there in the camp where you guys are. It's Quadi, the 14th of Germinal. It's been 4 days of your voyage. And it is just past dawn. People of the tents are stirring. However, there's already some trouble. Marin Shieldheart has fallen ill. His old heart just can't take it anymore. He, like in modern day sense, he would be having a panic attack, effectively. But he was he couldn't get out of bed. He was gasping for air, non-responsive. Very weak, very tired. And it's just kind of put a dour on the whole camp as the human patriarch, Marin Shieldheart, who is the oldest of all the humans of your village, is now kind of like sick in bed. And I guess I ask at this point, what's everybody doing around the camp? And we'll just go with this Discord display here, starting with Noah, moving left to right. So, Noah, what is Robert Shieldheart doing in this morning?
This morning, I would be caring for my ancestor, trying to calm him and get him as calm as possible. Because as a fellow Shieldheart, I care deeply for Marin. Marin's guided me throughout all of my young adulthood, all through my early childhood, and now we're in this tough area, and I'm kind of wanting his wisdom, even and almost sad to see him in the state where he can't provide it.
All
So yeah, I'm
right.
going to just be caring for Marin.
Okay. So Robert is by Marin's side, and Stickbeard, what are you doing?
Taking inventory, basically. Seeing where our foodstuffs are, seeing how what we gathered over the past couple of days is being used. Trying to count the number of able-bodied people we still have. Just trying to get a sense of where the greatest need is.
Okay. And Goldie, what are you doing?
I am around the campfire trying to liven the mood with some card games and just trying to get people in better spirits.
Break it on card games.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing like a card game to make breakfast. Move through your system.
All right. And Brock Half Giant. What is Brock Half Giant doing?
Brock is doing the finishing touches on getting his equipment and gear ready to move. He is planning on gathering a group and heading out as soon as possible.
While you were all in your places, Robert Shieldheart, you're in your tent, and we'll say that the rest of you are kind of outdoors in different spots of the camp. While this goes on, all of you hear a rumbling getting louder.
Whatever the
A
beep
rumble.
could that be?
Yeah, I'm gonna pop my head out.
Quiet. We're having some games here. You're interrupting.
Brock immediately draws steel and cinches up his shield.
Okay, so Brock and Robert, you both, upon getting ready and just kind of peering out at the area around you, you look towards the south, and you see a bunch of knights in shining armor heading towards you guys. They're carrying a banner, or one of them is carrying a halberd high. The halberd hangs a banner. The banner is a chalice pouring water over a rose bush, and it is red with gold trim, and the banner is. And they're riding towards you.
I
look out-
immediately
I look-
stride out to meet them.
I yell after him, "Careful! Those are different than the ones we saw the other day."
I'll follow behind Brock to back him up.
Okay.
And I follow behind at this point.
So Brock and Robert, actually, while you guys are heading out, you both don't necessarily notice each other immediately, but as you kind of get a distance away from camp, you kind of look to each other's side and see each other. At this point, you're standing about like 30 feet from the southern edge of the camp, and the horses keep charging towards you.
Are they charging?
No, they are in a very fast stride, but it doesn't look. None of them have a lance couched or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I will look to Robert, and I'll tell him that we need to keep our shields up. We don't know what these men want or who they are. How many knights are we talking about here?
There's over a dozen.
Okay.
Dang.
We can't possibly fight them off, so we're gonna have to talk and see what they want.
Talking was always your strong suit. I'll be right behind you.
I'll talk twice as loud for both of us.
All right.
And I don't, hands full of weapons and shield, but I think that because Brock and Robert are friends, I think we established. I think Brock will like clank his shield against Robert's as a sign of solidarity and friendship.
I agree to this. We should have a secret handshake going.
Absolutely. Can't do it when your hands are full of swords and shields, though. So for later.
All right.
So yeah, I'll take a half step forward and call out to the knights as soon as they're in earshot.
Okay. There's there's this real cool moment actually where you kind of like stand your ground, and one of the knights like kind of is playing chicken with you as he like rides really strong, but you hold your ground, and the horse whinnies as like the knight looms over you and then kind of like jumps to the side of you and circles back.
That's right.
As the rest of the knights kind of lead up. And so 3 of them approach you. One of them was the one who like tried to fake charge you. And they ride to the side. And the one in the center, holding a shield with a chalice pouring water over a rose bush. takes off their helmet, revealing a polyethnic woman with dark hair, dark eyes, of slight build. You can kind of tell, like, the armor definitely adds to her mass based on, her head and neck and shoulders that you can see after she removes her helmet. She looks down at you and says, "We thought you were merchants and would be on your way, but it seems you prefer to linger here longer."
It is not by choice that we linger upon your shores, but through desperation. Though
Uh,
if you have come here to harass us, you will find us no easy foes to drive off.
Um, when you say that, the one who was like fake charging you, like, pulls out the spear, stabs the ground, looks right at you, and you hear a female voice grunting at you. You will refer to her as Milady.
And who is she that she deserves such an honorific?
This is Milady Lita Vargas, first of her name, and holder of this region, the region that you have so squatted in.
Well, turning away from the lancer here, I will address the unhelmeted woman, and I will say, "Milady Vargas, I am Brock Half Giant, and I am one of the leaders of these people. May I call you friend?"
That depends. What are your intentions?
Our intentions are to find a safe place to settle and thrive. We are poor refugees driven from our homes. We have come to your shores not as conquerors, but as people in need. And we hope that that the people we find here are generous and merciful. Is that the case?
Hmm. So you aren't thieves? Come to pilfering our lands?
We are not. We are honest folk
Hmm.
in dire need.
She kind of like looks off and kind of nods, and she looks over to the Lancer and goes, "Deirdre, what were you telling me earlier?" And like, the Lancer's still looking right at you, but still kind of
Mhm.
addressing Lady Vargas. Says, "Our scouts found two dwarves and some meekish girl wandering the shores towards the Blight Tree, and then hours later, some skeletons wandered into Maurice's reach." "Oh, yes, yes." And, the Lady of Vargas, like, nods, like, "Ah, yes, I remember." So, that wasn't your fault then. These two dwarves and meekish girl weren't part of your camp? And she says that kind of looking over your shoulder.
Mhm. By the description of two dwarves and a meekish girl, I can assure you that we have such things among our number. Whether or not they are necromancers bent on destroying your country, I cannot say. It does, however, uh, not speak highly of your courtesies to be so suspicious.
She kind of leans in and goes, "These are dangerous times, and any lax in my suspicion could end me."
Well, I will uh, maintain my gaze, and I will sheathe my sword, and I will take off my shield and set it on the ground, and I will approach her horse with my hand extended, and I will say, I find that in perilous times, it is better to make friends than enemies. I cannot vouch for all the people in my camp. We are diverse and frightened. But I am Brock Half Giant, and you can trust me.
She grabs your hand, but then kind of pulls you a little closer than polite.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Well then, friend, why don't you help me out and finish what your camp started? I can't have the undead wandering around in my town. And I don't have the staffing power to take care of it at the moment. So, if you want to be contributing citizens to my territory, that would be a good start." And then she kind of lets you go and leans back.
I will take a small step back and then bow, and I will say, I swear it will be done as a token of friendship.
I hope you're successful, for my sake and yours. And then she puts her helmet on and begins riding off. The Lancer hangs back a bit, staring you down, before eventually following.
As they kind of ride off, I pipe up. I'm like, is she talking about the skeletons that we killed the other day? So I could do more of that.
So I turn and because I wasn't here last time, so I'm going to turn and ask, could someone please tell me what she is talking about?
Well, if she's talking about necromancy, the only thing I saw was us send a bunch of skeletons back to the netherworld. Wait, is it Marilyn? No. What's the cleric's name?
Melina?
Melina ushered a prayer and sent them away. That's not necromancy, if I've ever seen it.
Well, where did they go?
Somewhere not of this world.
We killed
Yeah.
half of them, and the other half were driven away. And it sounds like they were driven into her town.
Oh.
So Game Master, was there an opportunity in there while they were rounding up and going away that we could have broken in and asked where these skeletons are?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they kind of scooted off in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. Basically, it directed you to go back to the blight tree.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to kind of look at my companions here, and it says it sounds like we need to finish cleaning up a mess. Menial work, but if it improves our relationship with these people, I think we should do it. We're in no state to fight a war or even defend ourselves.
Maybe after cleaning up the area a little bit, they might be able to offer us some food too, so we're not living day by day.
Yes, a good idea. All right, let's gather up a party and go hunting some skeletons.
You all might need to zoom in there. But there is the map of the North Shore. That's basically everything you guys have explored up until this point.
There we go.
The blight tree is in the northwest.
West, okay.
Yeah.
Is that
Yep.
one there?
Yep.
Okay. And where are we currently?
You are at the campfire.
Campfire? Okay, so we can go along the beach.
Each hex is 15 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, and 1M adds 5 minutes, which is 250 feet of elevation.
Okay. And this blight tree, was it on the beach? Do we have to climb to reach it or anything?
No, it was like uh,
From this direction, we would have to cross like a tiny little stream in order to get to the tree. But
yeah, and then like walk up a little bit of a hill, but no,
Yeah.
it's not like
Okay.
on top of a cliff or anything.
All right. Well, I will send word through town that I'm going to be making an expedition to the blight tree to finish off some skeletons, and I'm asking for volunteers. And I look pointedly at Robert.
I volunteer. I've raised my sword.
Goldie, Stickbeard, why don't you both make me some wisdom rolls?
ooh. Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, it looks like both of you, or no, just Goldie. Goldie remembers. Hey, blunt weapons work really good against these undead.
Oh, right. Yeah. Grab blunt weapons, not bladed ones. They seem to work better.
All right. All I've got on me is a sword and a dagger. I'm going to
There is a town.
ask around. Yeah, I'm going to ask around town here to see if anybody's got an extra club or mace or something they can lend me.
What are you calling the camp a town?
I mean,
Because
it is
I
kind of
well,
it is kind of a town, but there's also other towns where Goldie and Stickbeard went that did have markets, so you could possibly buy.
Sure.
But this is what I'll
Yes.
do. You guys can grab clubs at no cost. Like, your camp has an unlimited supply of clubs.
All right,
All right, I'll grab a club,
I will
and,
also grab a club.
and that'll do for now. I don't want to delay this this mission too much.
Let's just do club's way.
Okay, so if
50 coins.
if one
Oh.
of you
Coins, yeah.
if one of you wants to use the draw tool to map out your route,
Who's our cartographer? Who's our navigator?
I can do some navigating.
Do it.
So,
you can do it one tile at a time if you'd like.
All right, I'll go slow. So I think we all wanted to do the most direct route there, so just shoreline.
Yeah, let's just follow the beach.
Yeah, I got this yellow one. Crossing a little river.
At that point, it's not shallow, so you don't suffer the crossing the river problem.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you guys can just step over it.
Nice.
And because of weight concerns, I'm actually going to be leaving my sword in camp.
You can pack it on my horse if you want.
Oh, great! That's,
I'm
thank
packing
you.
my sword on my horse as well.
Yeah, I will also pack the sword on the horse.
Yeah.
Handy.
All right. Boom. That's so. Is it for traveling? Is it? You said 15 minutes each, and so do I start at camp, like,
Yep.
or do I start by? Okay, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's hour 45 minutes.
Plus 5 minutes because you're going up in elevation, signified by the M. Every M is 250 feet. So
Right.
an hour and 50 minutes. Let me
Okay.
roll some randos. Okay. Yeah. So you guys are just, kind of hopping along the shoreline, and about 40 minutes into it, you are approached. Actually, in the distance, you see 3 figures on a horse, or on 3 horses, and they look like knights.
What or do they have
Do
like
they
a
have?
standard or a banner with them?
Yeah.
On their shields is a moon, like a crescent moon. Also,
I call out. That's a new one.
their helmets are quite a bit different because they have the Inquisitor pointy helmets, like they're knights' helmets, but they're they have these kind of dunce cap looking helmet looking things, with a just flat featureless faceplate.
Have they clocked us?
They're staring right at you, but they
Okay,
don't
well,
seem to be moving.
Okay, I will raise my hand in greeting, and I suggest that if I'm going to greet them, if they approach, we'll talk to them, but if they don't, we should probably just move on.
So as you approach and you wave, they wave back.
Mhm.
You approach closer. One of them looks to the other two. They kind of give each other a hug, a little bit of a hug. Knights hugging, or what? The one hugs the other two, and then the other two leave, but then the one just kind of stays there.
I see. Is he blocking our path in any way?
No, they're just there on their horse, observing you.
Okay, well, I suggest we move
Move along.
around. Yeah, just kind of keep a distance as we move past.
They follow you at a
All
distance,
right.
not like running after you, but just following you.
I can pull some rear security and keep an eye out.
Yeah, why don't you do that for now? If they continue to follow us, we'll have to confront them and see what's up.
So you guys move one hex over 15 minutes later, still following you at a slow trot on their horse. Go another 15 minutes, you're now like 2 hexes away from the blight tree. Still following you.
Okay, at this point, let's stop. And I will move back to the back of the line. And I'll raise my hand in greeting again and see if he responds.
They wave back.
All right, then I will call out. Call out, hello, good night. Have we trespassed upon your lands?
They shake their head.
Have we offended you in some way?
They shake their head.
Is there a reason that you follow close behind us?
They nod. They point to Goldie's silver shield, then points to their eyes, and then points up to the sky.
All right, Goldie's silver shield. So what's the? I look at Goldie's silver shield. What's the deal with it?
It has kind of a moon motif to it.
The shield is beautiful to them.
We did.
Go-
We did.
Everybody
find
can roll wisdom. Everybody can roll wisdom.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so for the humans, you, based on the motions, figure out, saw the shield in a vision.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
So I will turn back and call out. Did you see this shield in a vision?
Nods.
Do we have
Was
to
it an
ask?
ominous vision? Something of danger?
Shrugs.
Can you ask them if they can speak?
Can you speak?
They shake their head.
Much.
Vows of
Wha-
silence.
Would you like to travel with us?
Nods.
All right. Quick huddle. I think we should let them trot along.
Yeah, they don't seem to be aggressive,
Yeah.
at least yet.
Yeah, I guess Goldie, it's more of how much do you value your shield. I think.
We found the shield in we found it in that, I don't want to necessarily call it a temple, but it was a building, right?
It
That's where
was
we
an
found it.
old tower, yes.
An old tower. There we
A
go.
ruin.
A ruin. Yeah.
And is it just a mundane shield? It's not like magic or whatever?
Oh no, it's
It's a
magic.
it's a silver shield. It's a +1 silver shield.
Hot dang. Well, that's a pretty good piece of loot, but it's also pretty rad to have like some dope silent knights on our team. So
Sure, as long as I
I
don't.
I worry about feeding them. I worry about bringing them back to our camp and having 3 more mouths to feed. But
well, we've only
they
got the
might be
one right
useful.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only one.
Oh.
So I think we should invite them to travel with us. It's one more fighter on our task, and I think we could use that. Are we agreed?
Yeah, if I suppose if the shield becomes a problem, then we can, address it then. But
All right. Well, I'll turn back and call out, Silent One. If you agree to help us in our task, you can travel with us.
Nods. And then kind of like
Then
points, like lead the way.
all right. And all right, then we will continue on our way. Does the knight approach closer, or do they stay at a distance?
They stay at a distance.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Spooky, but what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Though, as you guys do get closer, now you're about 1 hex away from the Blight Tree, and it's very obvious as it's on the upper ledge, quite visible. The knight starts riding ahead of you.
Oh, like they pass us and go ahead?
Yeah.
Well, as they approach, I'd like to flag them down and at least tell them what we're here for. Do they stop or do they just keep going?
Wait, I'm sorry. I was playing with another screen. What did you say?
So if they're gonna like ride up, if they're gonna pass us and move up ahead of us, as they approach, I'd like to flag them down so we can have a brief conversation just to tell them what we're here for and everything.
Okay, so yeah, he stops. Or
All right,
they
and
stop.
they stop, and I'll look up and I'll say, Silent One, we have come here to uh, hunt down some undead that have been at large in the countryside. We believe that they are here, or at least they were last seen here, and this is our quest this day.
Um, they like put a fist to their heart and give a very hearty nod, and then immediately get off their horse, draw their, and at this point you guys are at the entrance. Here we go. There you guys are.